So welcome back to a new Game Stuff episode, and a lot of stuff to talk about here. It's been piling up just before Christmas, during Christmas, and into my birthday, so a lot of stuff, presents, and all sorts of stuff during the Christmas season that I wanted to talk about today. And here's the first game, one of Kim's presents she got me for Christmas, Titanfall 2. And the funny thing is, I played the beta back in the day, and I made a video about it, and I was like, I love this game. I think it's fantastic, and a lot of people were going, no, it's terrible, it's awful, how can you like that game? I was condemned. I was condemned for liking a video game. And I did like Titanfall 2, just in the beta form. I hadn't played the single player mode. And during Christmas vacation, I sat down and I played this. I ate a lot of candy, a little bit too much candy, and I played this game for like 3 or 4 days straight, spread out during those days. And let me say, I had the best time of my fucking life playing Titanfall 2. I'm going to declare it right now. This is one of the best mecha games I've ever played, ever. And I played them all. I played Steel Battalion, Armored Core, the Front Mission series, and the host of other ones. Like, there's so many. The one-player story mode is so good. It is so fun. The story is good. They do so many unique things. I don't want to spoil a lot. There's time travel elements. But really, it's the connection between you and your Titanfall. That's what's so unexpected. I just thought, okay, it's going to be a run and gun shooter. That'll be kind of fun. With mech elements. Great. That's automatically awesome. But I didn't know there would be an emotional story between you and your robot. And yeah, there really, really is. And I was totally taken back by that. And the storyline kept me involved. I kept playing this game. And the visuals and gameplay, hand in hand, were perfect. If I could do it over again, because I played this game after I made my list of best games of 2016, this would be in my top 10, if not my top 5 games of 2016. One that I highly recommend. A lot of people will pass on this, unfortunately, and this is great. You know what? Why not wait till it drops down in price, till it is in the $20 range? Pick it up. You'll do yourself a favor. I know the game didn't sell that well, so that's unfortunate. We may never get a Titanfall 3, but man, I crossed my fingers. I loved this game. Now, this game came from Play Asia during the Christmas time. I imported it, and it is Wild Guns Reloaded. Not a remaster, but kind of in the sense that the graphics have been cleaned up a little bit. They've been given widescreen. It looks gorgeous. This is a conversion of the Super Nintendo Super Famicom game by Natsume. And what a game this was back in the day. Me and Kim did a Let's Play of it. I wasn't playing the game extremely well because I was talking so much and trying to talk to Kim, and I wasn't really concentrating on the screen. But this game is awesome. A really great import, not too expensive as well. Check it out online. I'm showing footage right now. I was blown away by this game. I love older games, and you get them in like PS4 versions, and you can, and they look a lot better. I'm so happy to have any old school game that I loved, nowadays. And this is such a classic game. It really is. This is like, some have heralded it as one of the best shooting games on the Super Nintendo. And Natsume, the guys who did the Ninja Warriors, that's one of my favorite series. They did the Super Nintendo version, and that is such a great game. And you can see the sprite work follow through into this game. A big high recommendation for this. Next up is some limited run games, and I'll just show the stickers that came with these right here. And this is for Shantaes Revenge. And this was an old game that was released on the DS, and it's become downloadable on a whole bunch of other systems. And Limited Run has released it as its own standalone game. And what's really weird is I ordered these. I could have sworn one of them was a Pirate's Curse, but I guess I got both Risky's Revenge, two alternative covers. I guess that's what happened there. I didn't know I did that. I thought I ordered 2 different games, but I only got the one game. but 2 different versions of it. So that was unusual. I just noticed that before I was about to sit down and do this episode, but I'm happy to get it. Like, I love the Shantaes series. I must admit I haven't played a lot of it. I've ordered the new PS4 game. What is that called again? The Genie one. I ordered that about, I don't know, it must be about 3 weeks ago, a month ago now. It's still not here. Waiting for that to show up. Looking forward to that game. Can't wait to play it. And I really don't want to open these up. These are a bit of collector's items. I also have the downloadable versions of the game as well. So I really want to get into the series. It's so Wonder Boy-ish. That's why I love it. Now, I went to Toys R Us and they had this huge bargain bin of games that they were putting on clearance. They were trying to get out of the store, trying to get rid of at a really cheap price. I started digging through there, looking for gold. And I didn't find gold, but I found Mighty Number 9. And this game is going to become a classic game in the entire controversy that went along with it. And, you know, like, some people like the game, some people don't like the game. I have no issue with that. What is really weird, though, is that I have friends of mine that still, from that Keiji Inafune Kickstarter, have not received their items that, you know, they kickstarted. You know, they were supposed to get art books and plushies and all this stuff. They still haven't gotten it. And that's a rotten shame. And that is a rotten shame. And I didn't have a copy of this, and I want to get it for the symbolism of what this game is all about. There's a lot of dreams were behind this, and some of them were very unfulfilled. Now, just before Christmas, this showed up, and it showed up from Sony, and I was like, what the hell is this? And I'm like, those look like feathers, and I'm like, is this something to do with The Last Guardian? And I never in a million years thought I'd get something like this. It is The Last Guardian press kit. And I've never gotten anything like this, and I was just so blown away by it. And I gotta be very careful how I open this up. There we go. Look at this. Isn't that something else? Isn't that something else? And then you fold this open here, and it's a super limited version of the game, and it comes with a feather. It comes with a feather. Like, I was just like, what in the world is this? And I have something to admit. I still have not played The Last Guardian. I've watched so many of my friends play it. So many of my friends have talked about it. It looks so cool, and I will play it. I'm waiting for one of those Sundays where I don't have a lot to do. I can just sit down and try it out. I know I hear the controls are a little bit frustrating, but this game, for me, is a game that was in the works for so many years. We finally got it after all the jokes and all the, hysterics, like, it was like Final Fantasy 15. Is it really coming out? It finally came out. A lot of things came out this year, finally, didn't they? And this was interesting. I think it's going to be an interesting game for me to try out. Like, the glass is half, full for me on this one. I'm not going to go, oh, I don't think I'll like it. I think I'll give it a shot, and I will find out what's cool about it. Artistically, it looks amazing. Now, on to some video game books, and there was one night I was sitting and I was just thinking back to some of my PlayStation 1 days, and I was getting really nostalgic. I was swimming in motherfucking nostalgia that night, and I was like, oh my god, Chrono Cross. And I remembered one of my friends. I have a friend, his name is Aaron, but he's always been called Satan. That was his nickname he grew up with, just don't ask. But he was a big Chrono Cross fan as well. And we were really big into collecting art books back in the day, and still now to a lesser degree. But I remember he had a Chrono Cross art book. And I remember he ordered it from Japan, and I was so jealous. I was like, oh my god. And I went onto eBay and I typed it up to see if I could find it. And I found one for really cheap. And I was so stoked to get this. Here it is. Chrono Cross, Missing Pieces. And it's called A View of the World. And look at this book. Like, this is... For anybody... a lot of people only like Chrono Trigger, and I get that. And they really dismiss Chrono Cross. But for me, I absolutely love the character designs. I love the world setting. Adored the music. And the design, everything about it. I love the tropical look of everything. I don't know. I like the combat. Everything about Chrono Cross, I really, really enjoyed. And so nice to get an art book based on that. And this is a long time ago now, isn't it? This is like nearly 17 years ago the game came out. It's amazing that so much time has gone by, and it still holds up as one of my favorite games. I'll never get it, but imagine getting a remake or a remaster of Chrono Cross. That'd be something. Now, here's something that I think went under a lot of people's radar. There was a lot going on during Christmas time. I happened to catch this book, and I ordered a copy from Fangamer, and it arrived, and it is beautiful. It's Legends of Localization on Earthbound, on Mother. Really, Mother 2. And this is book 2 of Earthbound. The first one was on Hyrule. It was on Zelda. And this is by Clyde Mandelin. I'll definitely give him a plug here for this book. And this book is absolutely amazing. It is so in-depth, covering the differences between Earthbound and Mother 2. All the translation differences, all the visual differences. And there is a lot of differences. There's a lot. I cannot believe the level of detail here that they get into. And this is a sit-down book. If you're a really big Mother or Earthbound fan, you're going to absolutely adore this book. And so much great writing, so much depth into looking into this one particular game. And, for anybody who's an Earthbound fan, and I definitely am, I highly recommend this book if you want to see all of the differences between Earthbound and Mother 2. It is really, really cool. So this arrived for Christmas for my friend Andrew. Every year we give each other presents. We've been doing it for about 15 years now. I sent him Transformers, the animated movie on Blu-ray, and the Rogue One art book. And he picked me up this, Why the Last Man, or just The Last Man. Very interesting graphic novel series. I've heard a lot about it. It hasn't been spoiled for me, which is great. Here's my little bookmark. This is where I just started reading. It's about where a bunch of characters are living in a world where all the men have died of a mysterious disease, and I'm just at that point, so I haven't read too much about it. And Andrew got me all of the volumes, so he wants me to be very, very busy on the couch reading this. And you know what? I'm going away for a little bit. I will take this with me, and I will read all of this. It's a really well done little series. Even in the original setup of the first few issues that I've read through, it's fascinating where they're kind of going with it. It's a real classic graphic novel, and I'm looking forward to reading more about it. Now, last but certainly not least, I ordered one for Andrew for Christmas, and Kim ordered me this one. I got my very own copy of Rogue One, the art book. And I really love this movie. And the one thing I loved the most about it was the aesthetic designs of it. I just thought they did such a great job of capturing the era just before A New Hope, and I love the design work in this, and I love art books in general. I think the very first Star Wars art book I ever got was in 1982 from Empire Strikes Back, and it was all the pre-production artwork, and I'd never, being an 8-year-old kid, I'd never seen anything like that. I was like, oh, this is what the AT-ATs were supposed to look like, or, oh, this is what the snow speeders were supposed to look like. And I've fallen in love with books like that over the years. I love pre-production artwork. I like them finding out what the look of the movie's going to be about, or what the look of the ships is going to be about. And I've spent many nights reading over all of this, and it's just been stupendous. And just looking at the visuals, you can go through it and not read a damn thing and be highly entertained just by the artwork. And there's some stuff with Vader and what Vader's palace was supposed to look like, and it's fascinating how they got to the final look of the movie. And I think they did a great job visually on Rogue One. Some people say the characters were a little weak, but for me, it all came together, and I enjoyed it as a side Star Wars movie to the saga movies. I thought it was stupendous, and I highly recommend the art book if you're a fan of the movie and you want to see where it kind of got designed from, how they built all the entire world. I think this is a great place to start with. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this new Game Stuff episode. Until next time.